Welcome to the Friday Value video, and this is the last of a five-part series on gut joint pain. And we've been covering misconceptions, common misconceptions about arthritis that might be keeping you in pain. And I've been counting down. We started with number 5. Well, today we're covering number 1. And number 1 is all about the fact that arthritis is causing your joint pain. And you're thinking, how on earth could this be a misconception? This might seem completely off the wall. But what if arthritis is not the reason for your pain? What if your joint pain is actually caused by something of which you are completely unaware? No matter what shows up on imaging, no matter what you're told, guess what? Arthritis may not be the cause of your pain. So, I'm going to recap the other misconceptions, but just believe me when I tell you that so many people have come into a clinic setting or I've worked with privately, and we found out that their pain was because a body part wasn't working right. They had weak glutes, or their ankles were so stiff and they had lost range of motion that was causing their knee pain when they went downstairs. It wasn't the OA. So what you need to do is you need to find the cause of the pain. Now, I hosted an arthritis boot camp recently, and we did a movement performance assessment. And so many people found that when they did this assessment, and we modified it, if you can't do these movements, it can be very much modified. You can be holding on if you need help. But they found other areas in their body that were causing the pain. And they saw in just 5 days that they had less pain. It worked for them. So find the cause of the pain. Please don't just assume it's the arthritis, because it may not be. Okay, I'm going to recap briefly the other misconceptions in case you didn't see the whole series. I encourage you to watch the whole series, but I'm going to recap them briefly. So we're going to count up this time. So the first, OA may not be the cause of your pain. The second misconception is that diet can impact, or sorry, I'm clearing it up. Diet can impact your joints. It can. Because what if what you eat is promoting joint damage? You might think you inherited bad genes. Guess what? Diet overpowers genetics because food is information. It contains molecules that speak to your genes and turns them on and off. So, what are you feeding your genes? Are you feeding them these delicious baked falafel lettuce wraps? This was my dinner in the summertime. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely amazing. So fulfilling and satisfying and delicious. What are you feeding your genes? And why on earth would food have that much power? There's 10 to 5,000 phytonutrients in an apple, in every serving of plant food that you consume, vegetables, fruits, legumes, beans, lentils, potatoes, 10 to 5,000 phytonutrients in a serving. It speaks to your genes. It's so good for you. All right. The third misconception, we think we inherit it. We think OA is genetic. It is not true. Science has not proven it. They have not shown that to be true. We just think because our parents or our grandparents had arthritis and we got arthritis, we inherited it. Well, guess what? We're better off. I know I just want my children and grandchildren to inherit my money and my home. I don't want them to inherit a disease. And this is not true. Epigenetics tells us that environmental influences affect whether and how genes are expressed. Genetic factors might exert some potent influences, but the environmental factors have the ability to alter the genes that are inherited. And they haven't proven that anyway. There's nobody that's found a gene yet. They're working on it, but it's not true. I have relatives who had serious arthritis. I do not have arthritis, and I'm going to hit 66. So I think if I was going to get it, I'd have it by now. What do we inherit from our family? Our diet. Our diet is what we inherit. Okay, number 4. Joint damage doesn't have to progress. The quality of our lives depends on the quality of our habits. Did you know that one of the biggest contributors to cartilage destruction is inactivity? It's sitting, it's hanging out on the sofa, it's not moving, it's not exercising. That is one of the biggest contributors. Cartilage has the ability to regenerate. It's actually a myth that it can't be repaired or regenerated. That's still promoted and widely believed. Mature cartilage contains things that create their capacity to repair. Cartilage regeneration can happen. It can. This one right here, this was the first human study that showed it can happen. Humans who exercised more increased their glycosaminoglycans, which, GAG, much easier to say, decreases in cartilage with patients who have joint disease, and the pain severity is related to the content, how much they have. Let's increase that. And then the last misconception is that osteoarthritis is just normal. It's a rite of passage. It is not a normal part of aging. Osteoarthritis is a degenerative joint disease. And the definition of disease is an impairment of health or a condition of abnormal functioning. So don't be abnormal. Just because it's common doesn't mean it's normal. I want you to know these things so that you can be uncommonly normal. I hope you enjoyed this series. Thank you.